gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to probably the most dysfunctional food podcast you will ever see. I am Craig. This is my wonderful girlfriend, Madison. And today we will be talking to you about our love for food, the reason why we love food, how we make food, and all the good stuff that comes along with it, and, just overall joy for it.
We are by no means expert chefs, but we wanted to share a love of cooking with you and create a space where you can learn alongside us. So to start everything off, this isn't going to be our normal setup. Normally, for most of our episodes at least, we will be cooking something. But for our first episode, we wanted to talk about how we got into cooking, why we love cooking. So I want to start off and ask you why you decided to get into cooking and why you love it so much.
Well, the origin story basically starts with my parents were in the middle of a divorce, which, no shade on any of them for this. I understand. There wasn't much food in the house as far as quick and easy. So came down to, I got to start learning how to make my own food. So it started with little simple things like making an egg or moving on to grilled cheese. And then eventually, which actually, funny story enough, I made a bacon wrapped hot dog. And,
hold up, why am I just hearing about this now?
Oh, because you've heard about this actually, but you don't, you didn't, I haven't told you the full story about this.
Okay.
So I was probably 10 or 11, 10, maybe 12. I don't remember. Point being, I learned how hot oil could be, basically. 12-year-old me wrapped a hot dog in bacon, put some oil in the pan, and dropped that thing in. Well, if anybody knows, hot oil, and you don't drop things into hot oil, you place them. And there's a reason I say that, because you can't see it anymore, but there is third-degree burns on my arm from a grease burn. And I guess that's kind of where it all started, really, was I messed up, and I wanted to fix it. And so I started cooking more and more and more, and then eventually it got to a point where I started to enjoy cooking for, myself and other people as well. Mainly other people now, because I love the reaction that people get, watching their face light up when they have good food, or just even, sitting there dancing a little happy, like, just the simple things in life, just watching a little bit of joy come back to people's lives from my cooking. And it's nice to see that it's something that we can all get along with. We all like food, we all need food, and it's just nice to have people happy from it. But my love for food really came from there, and when I started cooking was a little bit more recently. I started getting deeper into it, especially because of this one. She loves my cooking so much that I had to start cooking a little bit more and start learning more recipes and doing other things. Like, for example, my potato...
Parmesan mashed potatoes.
Mashed potatoes.
Potato pups. Oh, you're talking about... You made a lot of different potatoes. We like potatoes.
Potatoes are great. Anyway, I made these potato pups, and going back to I messed up originally and I want to fix it. I tried the first time and failed miserably. They just wouldn't stick together. And so for 3 days straight, I basically tried everything and finally got the recipe down. And I don't know, I guess it was just the defeat and the failure that kind of made me have that love for actually cooking.
I feel like we learn best from our mistakes.
Oh, yeah. No, mistakes are the best teacher.
That's how I learned.
Exactly. That's how everybody learns. It's just whether or not you're smart enough to learn from other people's mistakes. I wasn't.
So what would you say are your biggest challenges when it comes to cooking?
Timing of everything. And I mean, that comes down to making sure the main dish is ready whenever the side dishes are ready, or how long something has to rest before it can be served. For example, I'm a very big steak person. Steak has to sit 5 minutes after you cook it. Most people don't know that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, no. Most people don't know that for the last 5 minutes of the cook, it's not even done over heat. It cooks internally. So stuff like that. The small nuance aspect of it, of, each individual item has a different way of being cooked. For example, the potato puffs, like I'm bringing them back up. What took me the longest to find that was actually the temperature of the oil, so that, you could create that casing quickly and not have everything drop out of it so quickly.
Oh.
So it's like I said, nuance and just timing. It's hard to it's hard to make sure that everything comes out as one and all warm too, because I'm notorious for having one part of the dish very cold. But
A little bit. We're working on it. That's why we're here.
yeah. But yeah, no, it's just the nuance, I guess you could say.
Thank you for sharing.
Well, yeah, of course. So what about you? How did you get your love for cooking?
So my love of cooking grew from a disdain of cooking. When I first started cooking, I was strictly cooking hot dogs and Kraft mac and cheese.
Ew. Sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest. And I've actually set my microwave on fire a couple times. I've made black mac and cheese. I was not gifted at cooking at all.
I just want this to be said. Kraft mac and cheese is the worst mac and cheese you could ever have. Sorry. Has to be said.
I'm going to have to throw out my boxes of Kraft mac and cheese now.
Yeah. No, it's terrible. It tastes...
I mean, it's like the better... No, actually, I've had better boxed mac and cheese.
I'd rather have Velveeta than I have Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh, I don't like Velveeta.
I don't either. That's how much I don't like Kraft mac and cheese.
I get it. Okay. Anyways, so I was not at all a good cook when I first started cooking. Actually, I completely avoided cooking. I never even really tried to cook. But my situation was kind of similar to yours. My parents weren't going through a divorce, but they were going through a very difficult time. And so we didn't exactly have meals on the table every single night. We used to have that for a period of time, but after a while, it just faded out. And so we just had a lot of takeout, a lot of pizza, a lot of hamburgers. We had a deep fryer, so we had made a lot of French fries and hamburgers. That was at least twice a week. And then McDonald's was a weekly occurrence.
Ew.
Yeah, it wasn't good. I didn't enjoy it, but it was all that we had. Then I got my first apartment and I realized that I actually had to, feed myself and take care of myself. And that's when I started diving deeper into how to cook. And it was all just trial and error. And as you know, I'm Italian, so I gravitated a lot to pasta. And I've always wanted to learn how to make pesto basil pasta. And so I found this recipe online and I followed it pretty much exactly. When I first started cooking, all I did was follow exactly. But with this dish, when I first tried it, it was really freaking good. And I'm pretty sure this is the first dish that I actually really learned how to make. And so once I got more comfortable with it, I started experimenting a little bit and trying out how the consistency of the sauce changes based off how much heavy cream you use and stuff like that. So once I got the basics and I started to get a more solid understanding of how the ingredients mix together and everything, I started to experiment a little bit more and try my own things. And that's when I found my love of cooking, was just experimenting and trying different things and realizing that when I'm not frustrated and angry and I actually apply myself and try things, I can actually make some really, really good food. But once I started cooking for myself, I realized how much my energy improved, how much my mood improved, how much better I felt. And so I stopped eating fast food as much, at least. I still have my days, but I started to focus more on healthier foods. And so that's where my love of cooking just blossomed from.
First of all, I just want this to be said. If everyone doesn't already know this, fast food and the amount of grease and seed oils that are used in it are terrible for you. If you can do yourself any favor in your life, that is make your own food. Making your own food will help your health benefits so very much. And this is coming from somebody that used to be 270 pounds. I was fat. I am no longer fat because I changed my diet.
Oh yeah, I was a little chunky too, and I attribute that to the way that I ate. In high school, that's when I was eating all the McDonald's and takeout and pizza and hamburgers and everything. And once I started cooking for myself, I finally thinned out.
And not only that, like how she said, energy. I used to say this all the time, and I still say it to this day. Your body is an engine. You need high quality fuel in that engine. All right. If you don't have high quality fuel in it, it's going to get hurt.
Okay, Mr. Mechanic.
Anyway, so What was your hardest part about cooking? What was the hardest thing that you had to learn?
Patience.
That's a good one.
Yeah, when I first started cooking, I did not have the patience for it, and I got angry very easily. As you know, I do that with other things. When it came to cooking, it was the exact same thing. And so I had to learn how to, give myself grace and remind myself that I'm still learning and that I'm not an expert. And ever since then, I approach new dishes the same, and I look at it more optimistic, and I'm like, all right, even if this isn't good, I'm going to learn something out of it. And so my mindset was the biggest hurdle that I had to overcome, because everything else just came easily.
Yeah, no, I can agree, especially when you fuck it up like 3 different times,
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm it's coming from personal experience. I know that one, but yeah, there.
Yeah, I think that's everything. So, you were going to say something?
I would love to hear recommendations for dishes in comment section and or from, my co-host over here. That would be nice too. For our next episode, we would love to do something you guys want to see. We don't want to just, I can make a million dishes that I love, but we all want to learn how to make a dish for ourselves. So if you can drop something down below, we'll try and make something for you.
Yeah, we want this to be a collaborative experience.
Yeah, no, I like I said, if it was my choice, we'd be making steak every day. So
or pasta.
Exactly. So I can tell you 13 different ways to cook a steak in just 5 minutes. So, but there's plenty other food in the world. I would love to, get my handle in some Indian food or some Japanese cuisine.
I mean, we're definitely going to be doing that.
Of course, like butter chicken. I'm just saying, butter chicken. That stuff is good.
That's a must.
Yeah, I don't have much else on my plate as far as yours goes. I'd love to hear anything else you got to say.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who decided to tune into our very first episode. We're very excited for what the future holds. I know it's going to be absolute chaos, but we're going to enjoy every single minute of it. So like we said, please, in the comments, let us know what you'd like us to cook, and we'll see you in the next episode.
At our kitchen table.
At our kitchen table.